What is going on, guys? This is Jarrell from the J Powell Network, and I wanted to show off a couple of guitars that I have and some upgrades that I've made. So on the channel, I do have a video of me unboxing an IYV guitar. It's the jazz guitar. I want to say it's the IJZ 300. So it's the thin model. I love that guitar. I think it's great. Let me see if I can pull it here. Because I did a video of unboxing it, but I didn't say anything else about it. So this is a great guitar. I really like this. I actually put flat wounds on this, and it still has the same tuners. Originally, I was going to swap out the tuners. Strangely enough, after I put flat wounds on it, it actually stays in tune better. I don't know why that is, and I want to say they're 9s, flat wounds, they're 9 gauge, but it sings. It plays really well. I like the pickups. There's really no need for me to change out the pickups, the pickups for it. So yeah, IYV, this is a steel guitar. So if you're a fan of jazz or blues, this will suit you. This is a pretty versatile guitar. But for some reason, flat wounds, that's the way I went with that one. Now, I did buy another IYV, and this is kind of their Strat. It's their, to me, if you were thinking like the classic vibe, like the 1950s Squire classic vibe, that model, the 1950s model, check this out. Because from a quality perspective, I've played both of those type of guitars. This feels like a classic vibe. Arguably, it feels maybe a little better. It has an alder body. It has the same pickups on it. Originally, I was going to swap out the covers because it has that Destiny wound 3D printed on, or not 3D printed, but printed on the pickup covers, which is kind of annoying. So I was originally just going to swap out the covers so they're just plain white, but it's a little too much of a hassle for me that at this point. But one of the necessary things I'm doing 2 upgrades to the guitar. One of them, as you know, I ordered hip shot tuners. So I'm going to swap out the tuners from the original. That is a necessity. To me, if you want to use this actually for a gig, you have to swap out the tuners. Because the tuners, it's just not going to sustain. It's not going to do the job. It does have a bone nut, which is cool. I did have to kind of glue this in just because it fell off when I was trying to clean off the frets, because there was some rust on the frets when I got it. But I swapped out I glued this in, so it's a bone nut too, which is really cool. And another feature I did is that I swapped out the tram block for a brass block. So if you can see this, it's actually a brass block I swapped out. I think it's a pretty cool upgrade. And the brass block wasn't that expensive at all. I didn't even have to really move around the saddles. I just flipped them to the side so it doesn't mess up the action or intonation because it's already set. So I just flipped them to the side and unscrewed it. Oh, and I had swapped out the tuning tree for one of these guys. Just looks a little nicer. But after that, I think this is going to be a relatively comfortable guitar to actually gig with. Yeah, it's got a good weight to it. The brass block I think is going to help with sustaining. So once I get those hip shot tuners in, and I actually bought half wounds for that guitar, so it's a little more of a mellower sound, but I kind of like it. Let's see. This is the last one I'll show you. So this is a Glarry guitar. Okay. I actually swapped out the I didn't swap it out, I sanded it off. Glarry. Sorry, Glarry, I had to sand that off. But I need to put some type of oil on here just so it meshes better in within the wood itself. But I made some modifications to it. The pickups it comes with are very microphonic, so I don't recommend using those pickups. I went to Guitar Finish, and I know Guitar Finish is very hit and miss. Not all their pickups are made the same. Not all of them are good. I think some of their best pickups are the little punchers, whether it be a Strat or it be a Tele. So that's what I installed on here. The neck pickup is fantastic. You get that, it's not only a humbucker, but you still get that twang, you get that warmth, and because it's a humbucker, it's a little fuller of a sound. So it's not as thin. The bridge pickup is cool. I'm one of those guys that if I could just stay on the neck pickup, I would be fine. So that's kind of my thing. And then I did a couple of other adjustments. I put some different straps on there. They're not strap locks, but it's gonna hold in the strap a bit better. And then obviously tuners. You have to swap out the tuners for all these guitars. It's just not, most of these guitars at this price point, they're not going to keep the guitar tunes unless you want to just have it playing around in the bedroom, or maybe go to a jam with it, maybe gig with it. You have to swap out the tuners. And these are hip shots. I've had these for a while. I've put these same hip shot tuners on many of my guitars, these same tuners on other guitars, but plays really well. Plays really well. It took a while to intonate this. When I did my modifications and adjustments, and as you can see, the volume and tone, I flipped it just because, well, one, the wiring is actually from Guitar Finish as well. It's the premium wiring, but for some reason, a lot of their wiring has been flipped backwards for some reason. Kind of want to email them because this is the second set of wiring that's been flipped backwards for how they set it up. But anyway, I flipped the block backwards. It's not perfect. It's slightly bending out, if you can see that, but it doesn't really affect anything, in my opinion. And it sounds really good. It sounds really good, and it's a fun guitar. I get a really nice sound out of it. I've actually used it to record on a couple of projects, and it's actually sounded really good. So, guilty pleasure, that one actually sounds pretty awesome. Let me show you one more here. I'll show you one more. So this is a guitar. This is probably going to be my primary guitar for gigging. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Yamaha, obviously for acoustics. Their Revstar series is fantastic. It's really good. I got the Revstar Element. A lot of these YouTube videos, they review the step above it, which is kind of like the standard, the RSS. And then the professional, like the Japanese made ones. So the Element, the Element and the standards, those are Indonesian made, but the standard is stainless steel frets, different inlays, and then I think it's like the VHT pickups, and then the Japanese made ones. It's just excellent craftsmanship. But I did the Element, $4.99. I have to tell you, this is the best guitar I have played for $4.99. I'm not even kidding. I see a lot of people with this because this has a three-way switch. The professional and the standard and the professionals, they have five-way, but I've never cared for five-way switches. Even on Strats, I don't use all five positions. It's just not necessary for me. But this is an incredible sounding guitar. It's actually chambered. So parts of these are actually, the wood itself is actually chambered. So you get a slight hollow sound without having issues of a hollow body, like a feedback through microphones and stuff like that. And these pickups are really freaking good. Really good. I have no interest in swapping out these pickups. They sound amazing. This is a 3-switch, like I said. It has a dry switch here, so you can pull this out. So you kind of get that thinner sound, similar to a single coil. Strangely enough, these tuners actually are really good. They stay in tune. Usually I swap out, a lot of my tuners, as you see, but these tuners actually stay in tune. Even during like the weather conditions, it actually has held its own. And for these tulip type tuners, usually I don't get very good I don't get very good luck on like tulip type tuners for like any type of guitar, Gibson, Epiphone, whatever. It just doesn't stay in tune. It looks pretty, but it doesn't stay in tune. These Yamaha ones, however they made them, they stay in tune. These are legitimate tuners. So really nice, really nice. One of my favorite additions to this, satin neck. Isn't that crazy? It's a satin neck for a $499 guitar, and you're getting bomb pickups, 3-way switch. This is a powerhouse, and this is Indonesian made. Indonesia's come up. This is probably the best Indonesian made guitar for $499 that I've played personally. So I have no issues with that being my primary guitar. I have another guitar, but I won't show that on the episode today. But I just wanted to share that with you guys because it's been a while since I posted a video, guitar videos specifically. But anyway, the main thing, IYV guitars, they're very good. Don't sleep on them. Get them, invest them. Some of them you might have to upgrade, like that Strat I was telling you about. Put the brass block in there, and the tuners. But their pickups sound pretty good. You know, I've seen people swap out pickups, and sometimes it sounds better. Most of the time it doesn't. You know, most of the time it sounds slightly better, slightly different, or just, you know, obviously it's just based on whatever you like. But anyway, IYV guitars, check them out. Check them out, especially if you're a budget player like myself. And the Revstar, great guitar. So, and the Glarry though, I will say, it took a lot to get the guitar where it is today. The neck is the best thing on it. Really quick, the neck it's a pretty thick neck. So usually a lot of these guitars, they have like very thin C-shaped profiles. This is actually like a pretty thick neck for a Tele, or for a modern guitar, I should say. I feel like that was really the cost of the guitar itself, was because of that neck. It's a 2-piece neck, so it's not like all one piece of wood as far as fretboard and the neck. But it's good. And it says the same plastic nut on it. I didn't swap out the nut because they actually cut it pretty well. And there wasn't really any need to do so. So anyway, thanks for letting me share. J Powell Network. Yeah, and I'll see you guys next video.